Hello everyone, welcome to Milo eLearning. Today we're going to be discussing patterns, sequencing, and the nth number. Now you could tell me, wow, this section is really difficult, but it's actually not. It's actually quite simple, and I'm going to explain to you. First, we're going to discuss what a pattern is. Now you're going to ask yourself, what is a pattern? Well, a pattern follows a rule of something that repeats itself. So if we look at the example AB, now you could see AB, the initial one, is the core pattern, and it is continuously repeating itself by the same alphabets, A and then B, A and then B. So the rule is AB is repeating itself in order AB, AB. Now, let's apply the same concept to numbers, but we're going to call it sequences. Now, a sequence is a set of numbers or algebraic terms that follow a particular pattern or rule to get from one term to the next term. So, in a set of numbers, like we have here at the bottom, we don't refer to it as numbers, we refer to each number as a term. So 2 is the first term, 5 is the second, and etc. Now, I'll explain more about that in the next slide. Now, let's look at the difference between 2 and 5. What am I going to do to the 2 to make it 5? We can use the inverse operation. We could say 5 subtract 2 is 3. So I'm actually adding 3 to the 2 to make it 5. So we could say 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11, and 11 plus 3 is 14. So we could see that the difference between each term is 3. So we know that we are adding 3 from one term to the next. Now let's look at it more clearly here. We have 3, 5, 7, 9, and then we have a set of missing numbers, and we want to calculate the nth term. So the first term was 3, the second was 5, the third term was 7, and the fourth term was 9. And we can see that the difference between each one is 2. Now, in order to calculate the nth term, we are going to use this formula here. We're going to say n to the 10 is equal to d times n plus or minus c. I'm going to explain why we use plus or minus c just now. Now, we need to use certain terminology in order to work out the rule, and we're going to use this formula. So the first thing we need to know is A is basically the first term. It is the starting number. And D is the difference. That's the difference between the first two terms. And then N is the row that we are looking at. So we need to find the 10th number. Now, in order to apply this, we're going to write down A. We had A is 3, D is 2. Now to get C. Now to get C, we think about what must we do to D to get 3. So we're going to say we're going to add 1. So we're going to say 2 plus 1 is 3. So now that we know C is, so we can use formula now. We're going to put it in the, and we're going to say our rule now is n to the 10th, n times 2 plus. So where n is, we put 10 because we're looking for the 10th number. 2 plus 1, and it is 21. Right, let's look at this in a table now. So we have our our numbers. So then our are the output numbers, and the first, second, third, and fourth terms are our input rows. It goes at the top on the table. So we're going to look for the 10th term and the 25th term using our rule, n times 2 plus 1. So we're going to do it like this. We're going to say n to the 10th term. We put our rule in place, n times 2 plus 1. The 10th number times 2 plus 1 gives us 21. Now let's put it in our table. We added 21. We found our answer. Now we're going to look for the 25th term. We're going to say n times 2 plus 1, which is 25 times 2 plus 1, which is 51. We're going to take that answer and we're going to put it in our table. Now let's apply the same to geometric patterns. Now, if we look, we have search how many we added each time. So we could physically count. We could count the first row. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the second row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we could say 11 minus 6 is 5. So we took 6 plus 5 and we got 11 matchsticks. So you could see to each house, because the shape makes a house, we added 5 matchsticks, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from the second to the third row, we added 5 matchsticks as well. Now let's put that in a table. So in the table, the input row is the number of row each matchsticks appear in. The output row is the number of matchsticks in each row. So in the first row, we have 6 matchsticks. In the second row, we have 11. In the third row, we had 16. Now we need to find out n to the 4th number, how many matchsticks are in the 10th row, and how many matchsticks are in the 25th row. So we're going to use our formula. So to work out the formula, we're going to say A is our starting number, which is 6. The difference is 5. Now what can I do to 5 to make it 6? Gives us C. We're going to add 1. Now we're looking to n to the 4th number. We're going to use our rule, which is n times 5 plus 1. So we'll say 4 times 5 plus 1 gives us 21. Then n to the 10th number, we put our rule n times 5 plus 1. So it is 10 times 5 plus 1, which is 51. And the 25th number, we'll say 25 times 5 plus 1 gives us 125 plus 1, which is 126. So we take all our answers and we put it in the table. So I hope you enjoyed my lesson and you learned about patterns